Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the weekly Astro Witter about the astrology of the forthcoming week. And I see we have already got, and is going to be in a concrete jungle, so we may not hear from you, Andy, or see you. And Poonam is here. Lovely to see you. Maggie, Shirley, good to see you all here. And anyone else who is watching who hasn't actually joined the chat. Well, it's an eclipse. Fantastic. This is we always say this, a pretty powerful eclipse. But actually, I think this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces is special because so many of us are going to be able to see it. And that is, hi Penny Hudson, good to see you. And that is going to be pretty awesome. And I think it helps us to get in touch with the full moon eclipse energy. Now remember, this is in Pisces. This and all full moons are about completion, endings, conclusions, resolutions. I also think there is something there about the letting go that we have to do. And so, hi, Sammy, good to see you here. Kate Ulrich, good to see you. Cape Cod, rainy. Oh, well, it's hot and humid here in Gozo. Joy. And so we've got to remember also that it's Pisces. So we've got a lot of energy about completion and ending, but not ending and then there's nothing. We've got endings and new beginnings because, of course, the moon will tomorrow have moved into the sign of Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. So it is a powerful, what's that, Maggie? I look, oh, well, thank you. Well, I'm here seeing you. I dress up for these. I love dressing up, but thank you very much. I am also going to go to a small little place down on the coast, which is about 5 minutes away by car, and it's called Hondok. And there I will meet a couple of friends and we will hopefully be able to see the blood red full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. And I'm thinking that if I get a good signal down there and the conditions are right, I will do a live stream as well on the trusty mobile just to show you the full moon eclipse live from Gozo. So that's my intention. That's what I'm going to do later. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Jim. Leslie, it makes you emotional. Well, it's Pisces. I've got a Pisces moon as well. And it's your 29 degrees moon Pisces. Well, Leslie, you've got Saturn, the planet of restriction, of constraint, of boundaries, of timing, sitting on your moon in Pisces. Of course, you're going to feel a little bit emotional. That is quite a heavy energy to have blocking the intuitive side of the moon in Pisces. Hello. Ciao magnifica. Spero che stai bene. Italiano. Sì. Io parlo un poco Italiano. That's about it. I'll do the rest in English. So let's just, your Pisces rising, Kay Ulrich. Okay, well, it depends on your degree because this is an eclipse. And I think it's important to remember that with eclipses, it's that whether we feel the energy or not in a big way or in a powerful way depends on the degree that is getting aspected by the full moon eclipse. Now, this full moon is at 15 degrees and 24 minutes. So you need to have a sun, moon, ascendant, descendant, midheaven, which is known as the MC, or the Emolian coli, which is at the bottom, called the IC, and you have to have those around 14, 15 or 16 degrees for this to really have an impact on you. And then it can be pivotal. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that that happens today. Hi, Martinique, good to see you here. Thank you. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen today, whatever that pivotal change might be. It could be inspiration. It could be letting go of emotions and ways of thinking about things that don't serve you anymore. Remember, Virgo, where the sun is about service. And we have to look at what serves us and how we also serve. And, you know, it depends. So the energy as well with an eclipse, I feel we're going to get the effects roughly for about 2 weeks, although you can often, over a 6-month period, look back over a 6-month period, and the things that happen in that 6 months, one can often trace back to the energy that is being released today by that full moon lunar eclipse. Let's see. So, Andy, you're at the hockey. Okay. Lots of love to you, Andy. Hope the hockey goes well. Hello, Estrella from the Netherlands. Good to see you here. So, the other thing about this eclipse is it's being trined, which of course is a lovely energy, by Jupiter. Jupiter in Cancer. Now, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, and Jupiter, just to remind you, is about luck and opportunity, expansion. It gives us broad, wide horizons. It opens up, in this instance, our inner sight. So our inner sight or insight should be enhanced with this energy because of this Jupiter trining the moon. And Jupiter, remember, is a highly spiritual planet as well. It really can elevate us to those higher frequencies. Hello, Nest Poetry. Hello, it's good to see you here. You're a Libra rising and you've had a pretty interesting 5 years. Okay. Hello, Robert. The eclipse axis and your natal moon is a T-square. Okay. So can be growth provoked through challenge. But, you know, I always think that T-squares or squares or grand crosses or anything like that can be extremely helpful because we can't rest on our laurels. We can't sit back and become complacent. We have to get up and do something. We have to take action. And remember about that with astrology. Remember that the planets just give us an indication, a forecast of the energies that are around and how we can move with them or mold them or use them to help manifest into our lives the things that we would like to make our life more bountiful, beautiful, exciting, to manifest our dreams. And Pisces also is about the imagination and dreams. So it's a great sign for that. And astrology, however, if we're not aware of what's going on in our chart, then it's like it's got free rein. It'll just act out. It'll just throw us all over the place so that things will happen. And we think, whoa, why did that happen? How did that happen? Because we're not holding the reins of the energy in our chart. So if you can be aware of the energy this particular full moon eclipse is impacting on your chart. Now, if you go to the full moon lunar eclipse video that I did, that is up on my channel, in that there are the 12 zodiac signs time-stamped. And if you listen to that, that will give you the area of your life that is being impacted, affected mostly by this eclipse. And if you know your rising sign or ascendant, it's actually better to listen to that first and then to your sun sign. Hi, Wishing Pool Tarot. Good to see you. I'm all ready for later. Hi, Robert. Yes. Oh, yes, that's right. Okay. And you don't know anything really, just the signs. Maggie. Okay. Yes, we need to, even if you just have a very basic understanding of your chart, you don't have to become an astrologer, but just to understand your chart, to understand your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign, and the degrees they're at, even though it may mean nothing to you. When astrologers like myself say the full moon is at 15 degrees of Pisces, you can think, ooh, my ascendant's Pisces, that means the full moon is in my first house, which is all about my identity. Okay? So that's the way we can start to have some sense of being in charge or control of our chart and its energy. Hi, Christine. Hi, in Cyprus. Christine, I just want to say publicly how terribly sad we all are and were to hear about the tragedies that have befallen your cat family. And I still can't get over it. I wonder whether it was an eclipse energy in some way. And I hope you are resolving the awfulness and the trauma, and that the person with a gun that shot one of your cats receives the punishment he deserves. So I just wanted to say that publicly, Christine. And for those of you that don't know, Christine lost 2 cats within a very short space of time. 2 were run over on a road near where she lives in Cyprus. And then the third, about a week or so later, got shot. And we have a similar problem here in Malta and Gozo, because they have hunting seasons and they shoot the birds. I don't like it, but it's what they do. And there's nothing I can do about it. But hopefully, most of the time, accidents like that don't happen, or deliberate acts don't happen. But I tell you what, it really worries me when I hear the shooting going on in the valley where I look out on, because I think, maybe a stray bullet's going to come my way. So I never go and sit on the balcony when I hear them out there. So, no, not hunting seasons for cats, Maggie. No, absolutely not. Hunting seasons for birds. Oh my God, no, nothing so horrendous. No, it's hunting seasons for birds. But if a cat gets in the way, it's fair game. But that's not what happened to Christine's cat. Christine, if you feel like it, you'll have to fill them in the in the chat. So yes, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. That is just as bad. I agree, Maggie. It's horrible. I don't want to kill anything. I don't think any animal should be killed. They're sentient beings, in my opinion or my experience. Anyway, come on, let's get back to the astrology, because I was on a roll there with explaining the benefits of understanding just some of the degrees of your natal chart. It will really empower you with understanding how your chart works. Now, I've experimented a bit with Chat GPT, but like putting your birth data in and seeing what it comes back with. But the problem with that is it's not always correct. So you're better to find a website that will give you the interpretations more strictly, so that you actually know that you're getting correct information. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Now, so thinking about this eclipse and Jupiter trining it, and that means it's sextiling the sun. Jupiter is also, I think, it's a very high vibrational planet. It's got a high frequency. It's a high energy. Now, in traditional olden day astrology, eclipses were seen as times when kings died, leaders died, the, boss, the president, the prime minister, whoever died. Now, it doesn't necessarily literally mean death, okay? But it's the symbolism of that. So it can mean, it'll be interesting to see over the next 2 weeks if we see an important leader fall from power or die. I mean, all these things are possible. So answers in the chat. Oh, I'm so naughty. So what I want to say is also what's interesting in the UK, even though I'm in Malta and Gozo, I tend to follow UK news. And in the UK, the Duchess of Kent, who was, bless her, 92, and a very hard-working member of the royal family, sadly passed away on, I think it was Thursday. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. Leading up to the eclipse, there's a member of the royal family leaving. So that felt like, an eclipse experience. Another thing that's happened in the UK is that the Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, had to step down because of some discrepancies in her tax history. Let's just put it that way, because I don't want to go into it in too much depth. Yes, I'm just talking about that Wishing Pool Tarot. What can one say? I felt quite sorry for her because I don't think she did it deliberately. I think it's one of those things where you think, oh, that sounds like a good deal, let's do that. So that maybe she didn't think things through fully enough in the position that she occupies. The other thing I heard today, oh, Lola, bless you. Thank you. Lola has just donated to the channel. Thank you so much, Lola. I truly appreciate. Huge gratitude. The other thing I heard on the news today is that, treats for the cats, definitely, Lola. The other thing I heard on the news today is that I think the Japanese Prime Minister stood down. So there are things going on in important powerhouses where we are seeing a changing of the guard. So it will be interesting to see if we see any more of that over the next week or so. What's interesting is, of course, that we have the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo in 2 weeks' time, which will, of course, probably bring, what I'm feeling is it's a breath of fresh air. It brings some new resolution, new ways through. It's like it breaks a deadline or breaks a deadlock. We get to break through. There's something about that particular eclipse that I'm feeling brings in breakthrough, but we'll talk about that obviously nearer the time. And yes, Wishing Pool Tarot, I know she did consult 3 independent advisors, but I don't know. I think sometimes we can choose to overlook what we don't want to see. And maybe that's what she did, and just thought, oh, nobody will notice. Hello, Cosmic BL. Lynn Francis, hi, good to see you. MM, and there was someone else who was here earlier. I think it was, I can't remember, but there's another of you here that I know. And so welcome. Anyway, now, so what I want to say really with this lunar eclipse is that, interestingly, the rest of the energy this week is quite gentle. But I think that's a good thing, because I think the effects of this lunar eclipse we're really going to feel. And even if it's not aspecting anything in your chart, just look at your Pisces Virgo axis in your chart if you know it. In ordinary equal house 12 house astrology, the 12th house is Pisces and the 6th house is Virgo. Now, depending where your ascendant is, will tell you what house you can experience this full moon lunar eclipse in. And okay, so we've got Virgo sun and moon in Virgo sun and moon and Scorpio rising. Okay, that's good, Sylvia. So so you're going to have that new moon maybe somewhere near your sun in Virgo. Hi Simi, hi Cosmic BL, you're all here, fantastic. Good to see such a good turnout. So that's probably what I want to say about this full moon lunar eclipse. And as I said, when I go out a little bit later, when we finish the live, I will endeavor to do a spontaneous live stream and just show you the blood red lunar eclipse, assuming we have no cloud cover. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. Hello. Oh, it's lovely to see so many of you here. Thank you for being here. Oh, Christine, please did a gun raid in your community on Thursday. The suspect was approached. He didn't like it. I bet he didn't. And the cat murderer is even more angry. We are trying to deal with an awful individual. Oh, Christine, that is just horrible. That is just so horrible. We had a cat murderer in Malta, and thankfully they caught him. He only managed to murder, well, he shouldn't have murdered any, but he murdered several street cats and some privately owned cats who just were outdoor cats. And the police did catch him, and I believe he's now in prison, standing trial. He was not Maltese, and I hope he will be deported because that's the best thing for him. Yes, Poonam, full moon craziness is abounding. Christine, you're saying things are ramping up and it feels like World War III. Well, certainly the general energy in terms of what has been happening politically throughout the world. I mean, I think what's been very interesting to observe in the UK, because that's the energy that I'm kind of more tuned into, is the rise of the far right. And I've realized that these extremes are just as bad as one another, and that there's a huge danger here of things tipping too far one way or the other. And you know, I would like to see a party emerge not only in Europe and the UK, but in America as well, where you get more balanced. I suppose it's liberal, I don't know, but fairer ways of looking at life. No, Christine, people don't have boundaries. Yes, the Orange Man was invited to go to the UK, and he is. I think he's coming on a state visit. Anyway, there we go. Oh, Lola, thank you. You love the Astro Witters. Oh, brilliant. Yes, so I'm doing this new kind of setup of the Sunday Astro Witter, which I'm wittering away at now. And then the pre-recorded Wednesday Astro Witter, which will go up sometime on a Wednesday. And are the UK citizens being censored? Yes, Maggie. There is no free speech. Absolutely not. And I'm really aware that when I do return to the UK, I will have to be very mindful of keeping my feelings a lot to myself, because you know, there was a writer in the UK last week. I've forgotten his name, bless him, but he co-wrote a very funny comedy program called Father Ted in the UK and Ireland. And he was arrested at Heathrow Airport by 5 armed guards because he had put up a tweet, or presumably something on X, that was seen to be, not woke. Let's put it that way, because I don't want to say anything I also might get arrested for. And my God, he's a writer, he's a comedian. So it's like humor isn't allowed anymore. We can't say anything about anything. Hi, Liz the Iron Maiden. Yeah, Poonam, I think it is like the UK. Wishing Pool Tarot, you're saying, I won't recognize the UK. The true news now is only on YouTube. Right, it's uncensored. Well, it's uncensored in the sense that YouTube creators like myself, I still have to be very mindful of what I say. So I am super careful, like we use code like the vegetable soup or carrots or icicles, you know, these kind of pseudonyms, because I tell you what's really interesting. Usually when I've done one of these lives, I notice the next day that, and usually I have talked about international politics or Ukraine, America, Middle East. I always get hits on my website from Russia. Now, I just find that fascinating. I think they're just having a look. I think that's all they're doing. They're just literally spying. I don't know who, but they come on. And yes, we need to go back absolutely to middle ground. And I think ultimately it will, because it can, you know, it can only swing so far. And you get a tipping point. Things will probably get worse before they get better. And I think Jim is here, Christine. Yes, I think he is. Yeah, multiculturalism, Marxism. Oh, that's clever, Maggie. Magenta Pixie gets away by creating a little story. That's very, yeah, Liz, it's control. Absolutely. Now, where do we see this in the astrology? Well, I think that the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that we're going to experience, we're experiencing it now, even though Saturn has returned to Pisces, we will experience this energy well into next spring. Because remember, the exact conjunction of Saturn and Neptune in Aries is at 0° Aries on that very powerful world point, and that's on the 20th of February. Now, that will be the sort of culmination of, I think, what is going to unfold over the next few months. And I think we could see tipping points reached. I mean, clearly it looks like in the UK, tipping points are already reached and spilling over about lots of things, not just far right stuff, but injustices of all descriptions. And I think basically I would suggest that most decent, law-abiding human beings look for fairness and freedom and humor and love. And it seems as if all those particular qualities have been erased. Let me see what you're saying. Yeah, we can optimize, Christine. Yeah, Poonam, listen, this Neptune-Saturn, last time it was conjunct, it was in Capricorn in 1989. And some of you will remember that's when the Berlin Wall came down. Well, we're witnessing similar energy. And I think we are going to witness something that is going to force us, push us into embarking on a whole new cycle. Now, what that will mean or how that will look, I have no idea. We only know that the energy of these planets of restriction opposed to dreams, Saturn and Neptune, you're going to have this conflict between what is also being hidden and confused, because Neptune can bring smoke screens and we don't see things clearly, illusion. And Saturn is looking for structure and rules and just getting things. What's this you're saying, Lola? Always reminds us we are in control and we do have choice. We absolutely have choice. And at the moment, it seems that if you don't want to be arrested, you have to shut up. So that is actually eroding our choice, because free speech seems to have been eroded. I'm just saying what I observe. I may be wrong. I don't know. I'm just seeing what, let's see, doom and gloom approach, lean more towards predictive astrology, while Penny Steve Judd and Pam Gregory. No. And I think that the difference is that Steve Judd and Penny Thornton are they're mavericks. They say it how it is. They're not frightened to tell the truth. And Pam Gregory is on a slightly different frequency or vibration, because she really chooses to bring in the new earth and the vibration of the higher frequencies, and how we can attain that through understanding the astrological influences. And I probably try to do a bit of all of that, is what I try and do. Is it really that bad in the UK that you get a... Yes, it is, especially if it goes out on social media. It's bonkers. I don't know how Bracker Goldsmith is doing. I mean, I have her email. I may just email her and see how she is doing. It would be interesting to know how she is doing. She was lovely. You switched off your phone today, Liz. Yes, because you had this countrywide alert, didn't you, at 3 p.m. or something? And I know a lot of people said they were going to switch their phones off. Thankfully, I don't have a British number, so nobody can. Oh, Lola, she's not. She posted on Facebook, did she, that she's not working in astrology? Yeah, I think she's taken different paths. Yeah, she had eye problems. That's right. Bracker Goldsmith. Now, so I just want to come back to the astrology, because I'm going to talk about the astrology for the second half of the week when I do the Wednesday Astro Witter. And the only major aspect for the second half of the week is actually Mercury in the heart of the sun, which means it's conjunct the sun. And that's quite bright, encouraging, interesting energy. It's Virgo, so we may see a little bit of detail coming out around a leader. I don't know, just thinking outside the box. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm not going to spend too long on any more astrology. I've got a quote for the week, or quotes for the week, because I wanted to, let me see if I can find it. And I can't. Here we go. Yes, I've got some quotes for the week, because I'm going to go down to Hondok when I finish this live stream. I'll come on again and I'll use the trusty old mobile and do a live stream down there just showing you the full moon lunar eclipse, because I think that would be really lovely. So I'm going to do that. And I has the best quotes, do I? Oh, thank you. I have to own up to the fact that it's Chat GPT, but it's really good. I'm really getting into it, Chat GPT. I just say, so today, for example, I asked for quotes about letting go and release, because I was thinking, this is a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac. Let's see what Chat GPT can give me about letting go and release. And this is what Chat GPT came up with. The first one is about that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 4. So this is about letting go and release. Hermann Hesse said, some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is in letting go. Now that is interesting, because I've been thinking personally about personal things going on in my life, that the best thing that I could do at the moment is let go. Let go of outcomes, let go of what I want to happen, just let go. So I'm using the energy of this full moon eclipse and saying, I hand this over to you, divine mind. I hand this over to you, and you will show me the way for the highest good of myself and others. So, oh, a commercial. Oh, listen, I tried to turn them off mid-roll, but I didn't know, but it didn't give me an option to do it. So when I set it up again next week, I will see if I can find how to switch them off mid-roll, because there is a setting. Someone told me that you can put them just at the beginning and just at the end. So I will try and do that next time. Yes, Poonam, you're right. It takes more energy to let go than hold on. Yes. And exactly, Liz the Iron Maiden. If you hold on, you're in danger of crushing what you are holding on to. That is so wise. Thank you for that, Liz the Iron Maiden. Steve Maraboli said, letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. And I think we all have experiences like that, where we realize that there are certain people that have been with us on our journey, that we get to a point where we choose a different path, and the path does not include them. A lot of water. What's this? You have 7 planet water signs, Maggie. It's like surfing really big waves. Yeah, gosh. Yes, Christine, sometimes things are taken away whether you like it or not. That's why I think sometimes, and that's what I think this full moon is really helpful about, is just let go. Just say, let go. Okay. It's like, it is a surrender. It's a surrender, but it's not surrendering to failure, like giving up. It's just giving over. Okay, I let go. I am totally in the awe and power and majesty of the universe to show me the way. Now, Steve Maraboli also said the beautiful journey of today can only begin when we learn to let go of yesterday. And that also means the old self. So if we want to get our frequency onto a new timeline where the things that we intend are going to happen, then we actually have to change our frequency to the timeline that we wish to be on. So that means knowing for certain that we're okay about letting go of the old us that has doubts and fears, and saying, I can let go and have faith. If we do that, then actually you'll find, oh, wow, I'm on that new timeline. I've let go. Urquhart Tolle said, sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on, which is really what you were saying, Poonam. And let me see what else you're saying. Hi, Joe. Good to see you here. Pisces moon. Yeah, Pisces moon. Yeah. Oh, Bobby, you've got a double harmonic water trine. Wow. Let go and let God. Yes, that's right, Poonam. Let go. LG. Now, I've got here 3 quotes about flow and trust. Buddha said, you only lose what you cling to. So simple, so true. Jack Cornfield said, to let go does not mean to get rid of. To let go means to let be. When we let be with compassion, things come and go on their own. Yeah, like that. And Lao Tzu said, when I let go of what I am, that's like changing your frequency to be on the timeline of the new you, you become what you might be. Now we have 3 quotes, finally, before we do the tarot cards. Transformation and renewal. So Thich Nhat Hanh said, letting go gives us freedom. And freedom is the only condition for happiness. And that's very true. And that's the problem with a lot of these extreme political beliefs, is actually there's no freedom. There's no freedom. You've got to think my way. You're not allowed to have free thought. Anne Lippman, you see letting go as holding a butterfly in your hand. If you try to hold too tight, you will crush the butterfly. Hold on with hand open and bless the beautiful butterfly. Make me a butterfly bush. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, if we hold on, Christine, you're saying, why do you lose what you cling to? If we hold on, we strangle it. We have to let go to allow things to come to us in the right way, and trust that that which is meant for us will come. It will come. You're going to cook a big pot of chili, Maggie, and make jalapeno cornbread. It's beginning to be chilly. I wish it was chilly in Gozo. It's not at all. Wishing Pool Tarot, the perception has been skewed. I know. You're welcome, Christine. Right, now let's just look at these transformation renewal. The next one is by Jackson Kiddard. Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go. There's our answer. And then there's an unknown, which is sometimes you don't realize the weight of something you've been carrying until you feel the weight of its release. Because, you know, if you are constantly trying to make something happen, I have to keep this in my mind, because if I keep this in my mind, it'll manifest it. No, it won't. No, it won't. Let it go. Let it go. You've put the intent out there. The universe has to present it to you in the right way. And you have to trust that the universe will give to you what you need. And that if the thing you think you want doesn't ever come, it's because the universe has got something much better for you. And where we are on our timeline, we can't see that. And that's what we have to have faith in. So by letting go and staying in the present, we allow the universe to manage the details of that which we wish to manifest. It doesn't mean that you can't have what you want. It's just sometimes also it's about timing. And remember, with that Saturn energy in Pisces, that anaretic degree, 29 degrees of Pisces, Saturn is saying, this is about timing. These things that you are intending through the numinosity and dream world of Pisces. You have to allow space and time for these to take some form. And really, I think, it is going to take time for these energies to take root. And this full moon energy, this lunar eclipse energy, do something today, anything that just ritualizes the energy, so that you just go out and you look at the moon and just say, bring it on. You know what I want, full moon. Show me how I can attain it. Then you're using the energy, you're giving your intention to the universe. Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. Now, let's come on to our tarot. So Wishing Pool Tarot, get your tarot out. Anyone else who wants to pick a card? Oh, you've picked the Fool. That's wonderful, Wishing Pool Tarot. New beginnings, taking a leap of faith, moving forward. That is perfect, because that's actually what we have to do. And that actually epitomizes the letting go. And yes, it may feel like we are leaping off a precipice. But what we're not trusting is that maybe we've got wings. Maybe we'll fly. Maybe it'll all be all right. We can be so conditioned to thinking things won't be okay, that we only think about the downside. Why can't it actually be that everything is all right? And so, yes, Ness, the ebb and flow of the tides, and it's Pisces. We watch the waves come in and then watch them go. And I'm going down to the sea tonight. I'm going down to that Pisces energy to watch the moon come up over the Mediterranean Sea and turn red. And I can put my intention out there to that full moon eclipse energy. And yes, the moon last night was beautiful. And yes, poetry, Ness, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Liz. I'm growing it a little bit. I'm actually, which side is it? That side. I'm actually going to the hairdressers this week, but she's just going to tidy it up because I want it a bit softer. I'm going through my metamorphosis. I think I'm coming out of my chrysalis. So, right, we have been programmed by TV and movies to be a certain unhappy way, and by, dare I say it, religion. Because, thank you, Liz, you know what religion does, don't you? It says you born, you live, you die. And we are not encouraged to believe in an afterlife. We are encouraged and we fear death. And that's not the truth. We kind of know that on a really deep level. And maybe there's something in that with this Pisces full moon about the death of the old us and the birth of the me, the I, the self that has faith, that knows that I have an eternal soul, that my soul always has been and always will be. And each life I come in and out of is just a blinking on and a blinking off. Metamorphosis, I like that, Liz. You pulled Eve, Cosmic BL, and see me, you've got the moon, the Fool, and the 10 of Cups. I like that. So we've got the Fool again and the moon. Well, we had to have the moon. Now, I've pulled the 4 of Swords, and I think this is like peace because it's about rest. And I think it's about stillness. I think, and Eve, of course, pulling Eve, Cosmic BL, is really about going back to the beginnings of the divine feminine. And there is something about the energy, and we have to remember about the energy of water and the power of the consciousness of water. You remember Veda Austin talks very much about the consciousness of water and the figure of 8, my heart to your heart, that wonderful bringing in of the energy. Yes, Christine, you are most certainly dealing with Adam masculine energy. But remember, a lot of where the astrology is taking us now is bringing us in to the divine feminine. And the moon today, the total lunar eclipse, is about, it's like the feminine has her light dimmed. We see the shadow of the feminine, but from that we come out into the light. And we will all come into the light, and we will all see our truth, the truth of what we need to bring into our lives, what we need to intuit into our lives, and to understand the wisdom of the universe and of the soul. And the Four of Swords, I think, is almost like the peace before the storm, or the time of rest before things really get moving. Because I think once the moon moves into Aries sometime tomorrow, then the energy of next week is going to get quite active. And I think it will be very interesting to see what unfolds this week in the energy of the eclipse. And yes, rest and rejuvenate card, Maggie, the Four of Swords. And you're saying, Maggie, that the Mother Earth is about to move and show the male principle what is up. Yes. And also, I think that, we have to remember that eclipses, because of the angle of the planetary energies of the moon with the Earth in between the moon and the sun, okay? So the Earth is shadowing the moon, and what this is doing is it pulls, where the Earth is in the middle of the gravitational pull of the small amount of gravity that the moon has and the huge amount of gravity that the sun has. So we're picking in the middle, we're being pulled. So that what gets revealed as we come out of this energy is going to be really potent. So rest, enjoy the energy of this full moon lunar eclipse. Enjoy what unfolds for you. And take care of you. Take care of your psyche and soul. And remember that the divine feminine and the divine masculine, it doesn't matter whether you are male or female or somewhere in between, because we all have these elements in us. We all have the feminine, the divine feminine. We all have the divine masculine. Somewhere we have to get the balance, and the balance for 2,000 or so years has been very much towards patriarchy, to the masculine. This is the rise we are seeing of the divine feminine. And I think that I'm just thinking of Uranus having moved retrograde in Gemini last week, and actually only on Friday, wasn't it? Yesterday. And combined with the lunar eclipse energy, we may see again Earth movement, earthquakes, volcanic activity this week because of the full moon energy. So just be aware of that. And if you live in areas that are affected by that, then just be aware of it. Hey, Wave, good to see you. You're Aries, Christine, and you feel war energy, looking for a lighter energy. It will come, but you've got to get really through most of next year, really at least until the summer of next year. So yes, there we go. that's what I'm going to say tonight. Let me just read some of your comments. Yeah, Maggie, the Mother Earth is about to move and show the male principle what's up. And I think that might happen. And Lynn Francis, may the greatest truths be revealed that bring the power-hungry masculine down and empower the divine feminine. I absolutely adhere to that. Yes, absolutely. World leaders are all women or greatly influenced by strong feminine energy. That would be very, very healthy. There certainly needs to be balance, and there isn't balance yet. Listen, thank you all. I'm going to go and get myself ready and go down to the beach. And there, well, it's not a beach, it's a kind of rocky outcrop, and there's a paved area, and there's a little cafe down there. So I'll go and sit there. I'm meeting some friends. And all being well, I shall live stream a little bit later, in probably about 45 minutes or so, hours time, and show you the live stream of the live lunar eclipse. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share on Facebook, tell your friends about it. Let's grow this soul fan community because you're all so awesome. So, oh, you're very welcome. Yes, let's eat, drink, and be merry. Thank you, Jim. It's good to see you, Jim. And okay, right, I'm going to go. So bye and have a lovely evening. And yes, peace to all of you. Love, peace, happiness, what else? Everything, all good things. There we go. Yes, let's go and see the blood lunar eclipse. Bye for now, guys. Bye. Bye.